Right lads, how's it going, and welcome to my Premier League Game Week predictions for matchday 34. So yeah, basically in this video I will be predicting all 10 games due this weekend in the Premier League in matchday 34. We have some very good games at both ends of the table. There's a lot to play for, of course, in the top 4 race and also in the relegation battle as well. So without further ado, let's get into these predictions now. And we start off with the game taking place at St Mary's, Southampton versus Leicester City. Now obviously in this exact fixture of last season, this was the game that of course Leicester did go to St Mary's and put 9 goals in a 9-0 victory over Southampton. And Southampton have just been really poor in this, turn of the new year. They really have. And just to put into context how bad they've been, they're actually level on points on 36 points with Newcastle at this moment in time, so it just goes to show how poor they've been. Leicester on the other hand, they're really going for top 4 now. They've won their last 2 games on the bounce. In my personal opinion, I think they've learned their lesson from last season. I think they will go out and get top 4 now. I think they'll probably finish 3rd, if I'm being perfectly honest. And yeah, overall in this one, I do want to back a Leicester win, but simply because of the law of averages, I think Southampton will just about get something from this game, and that is why I'm going to go for Southampton 1, Leicester 1. I just think Southampton just have to start picking up points this end of the season, and yeah, I think Leicester will just about not win this one, to be honest. So yeah, 1-1. And now to the next game taking place on Saturday lunchtime kickoff at Selhurst Park, and that is Crystal Palace versus Manchester City. Now Crystal Palace lost last weekend to Leicester City 2-1 at the King Power Stadium, and on the flip side as well, Manchester City of course are fresh from that 1-0 win over Spurs in the Carabao Cup last season to claim their 4th Carabao Cup title in a row. And obviously as well on Wednesday night they did play PSG in the Champions League first leg in that 2-1 win in Paris, and of course they have the repeat leg of that fixture on Tuesday as well, so they probably will rest players for this game. And John Stones is suspended for this one because of a red card he picked up a few weeks back obviously, and yeah, I think that City will rotate in this one, but even still with that rotation, I think City's squad is just so strong, as we all know, and for that reason, I'm going to go for Crystal Palace 1, Man City 3. I just think City, even with the rotation they will have to make, and with Stones being suspended, I think they'll have enough to obviously, see off this Palace team fairly comfortably. So yeah, 3-1 City. And now to the next game taking place at the Amex Stadium, and that is of course Brighton versus Leeds. Now first of all, Brighton have actually not won in their last 4 games. They're still in a bit of a relegation battle. They're probably the closest team at this moment in time, in danger of getting sucked into the relegation battle with Fulham and West Brom on their tails of course. And on the flip side, Leeds are on really good form. They're unbeaten in the last 6 games, and in those 6 games includes draws against Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, and a victory over Man City as well. So Leeds on really good form at this moment in time. They are missing Rafinha though, who is a massive blow for them because he's one of the main creative players they have in their team, and definitely is a reliant player in the way they play. But overall, I think that Brighton, due to the law of averages, I think that Brighton will just about nick this one. I think that Brighton need a win to get themselves away from any relegation danger, and that's why I'm going to go for Brighton 1, Leeds 0. As I said, I just think the law of averages, Leeds are due a defeat, and I think Brighton will take a massive 3 points here to all but relegate Fulham, if I'm being perfectly honest. And now to the next game taking place at Stamford Bridge, my club Chelsea against Fulham in a London derby. Chelsea of course had their tie against Real Madrid on Tuesday night in that 1-1 draw, and of course the repeat leg is on Wednesday night, so like Manchester City, they probably will rest a few players for this match. And Fulham, they just have to win this one. They have to win. They're 7 points adrift of Premier League safety at this moment in time, 7 points behind Brighton. They have to start winning games. It's as simple as that, or else they're going straight back down. Some good news for Chelsea, Mateo Kovacic looks like he's going to be back for this one. Apparently to Thomas Tuchel, he has said that Mateo Kovacic is actually likely to feature in this game. Whether he starts or not of course remains to be seen, but it's a massive player back for Chelsea in that one. And overall I think that Chelsea will take 3 points in this one to all but condemn Fulham to relegation back to the Championship at the first time of asking. Gonna go for Chelsea 2, Fulham 0. As I said, I just think Chelsea should fairly comfortably win this one, even with the bit of rotation we do have, because we have a really strong squad like Man City. And now to the next game taking place at Goodison Park, and that is Everton versus Aston Villa. Now Everton got themselves a real smash and grab result last weekend at the Emirates against Arsenal on Friday Night Football, with that Burnley mistake, which Richarlison of course will claim, a 1-0 win for them last weekend. Aston Villa themselves have really struggled without Jack Grealish, and it just goes to show as well, because since he's been injured they've only won 1 of the last 8 games, and Jack Grealish as well still is injured for this one, so Aston Villa have a real uphill battle to get anything from this game, if I'm being perfectly honest. And yeah, for that reason I just think that it's 2 sides that are in a bit of a mid-table battle at this moment in time, even though Everton have a little bit of hope in terms of getting, Champions League football or Europa League football even. But yeah, for that reason I'm going to go for Everton 2, Aston Villa 1. I just think Villa have struggled so much without Jack Grealish, and I think it will continue, and I think Everton will win by a goal once again. Now to the next game taking place at St James's Park, Newcastle versus Arsenal. Now Newcastle, in my personal opinion, 1 more win and they are safe. They're currently on 36 points, as I said, level on points with Southampton. I think 1 more win will just, get them over that safety line once and for all. And Arsenal as well, they have nothing really to play for in the Premier League, as I keep saying on this series. They're fully focused now on the Europa League. They're currently playing Villarreal in the first leg of their semi-final tie as I speak, so I don't know what the result is in that one. And Newcastle have no Joe Willock in this one as well, because obviously he's playing against his parent club in Arsenal. But overall, I feel like Newcastle will get a win here simply because they have a lot more on the line. As I said, Arsenal have nothing to play for in the Premier League at these latter stages of the season, and for that reason I'm going to go for a shock. Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. I think Newcastle will take 3 points and ultimately, save themselves from any relegation struggle for the last 4 games of the season. So yeah, a massive win for Newcastle incoming in my opinion. Now to the next game, undoubtedly the game of the weekend, and that is Manchester United versus Liverpool at Old Trafford. As I said, the game of the weekend. Liverpool bottled their last 2 games in late fashion against Leeds, and Newcastle of course conceding 2 goals in the last 10 minutes of the game. And United are ending the season really well. Of course, they still have a Europa League tie to focus on as well against Roma, which they do play the second leg of next week. And of course, as I said, as of the time of this recording, they are playing Roma in the first leg of that tie. And yeah, United doing really well at this moment in time. As I keep saying on this series, I'll keep saying it till they actually win a game. They've only lost 1 game since the 1st of November, and that was at home to Sheffield United, so they're doing really well. Definitely deserve to be second place in the Premier League. And overall, I feel like this game, I don't think I can separate either side in terms of a victory, and that is when I'm going to go for a pretty boring Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1 at Old Trafford. Yeah, I just can't separate either of these 2 sides. There's not really much to play for United. There's a lot to play for Liverpool, and yeah, that's why I've just gone for a draw, to be honest. I can't have any other explanation other than that. And now to the next game taking place at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Tottenham versus Sheffield United. Now, Spurs under Ryan Mason were absolutely pathetic in the Carabao Cup final defeat last weekend to Manchester City, it has to be said. And yeah, in terms of Sheffield United, there's just nothing really to say if I'm being perfectly honest. They're going down to the Championship. They've already confirmed to be relegated. They're currently on 14 points. They have nothing to play for except for just pride at this stage, if I'm being perfectly honest. And to be honest, I can see a Spurs mauling here. After the disappointment of the Carabao Cup final on Sunday, I think Harry Kane and Heung-min Son will stat pad to a certain extent, and maybe Gareth Bale as well, who knows. Well yeah, I'm going to go for Tottenham 4, Sheffield United 0. I just see a Spurs route in this one, yeah, because Sheffield United, as I keep saying, have absolutely nothing to play for. And now to the penultimate game of this game week, and that is West Bromwich Albion versus Wolves at the Hawthorns. A bit of a Midlands derby once again. Is it too little too late for West Brom and Sam Allardyce? They conceded a late goal against Aston Villa and Keenan Davis last weekend in, horrific fashion. Wolves themselves absolutely battered by Burnley last weekend in that 4-0 defeat. Chris Wood turning into prime R9, just putting a hat-trick past them. Wolves have been really poor, the second half of the season since they've lost Raul Jimenez and now Pedro Neto in recent weeks as well to injury till the end of the season. And yeah, I just can see one winner in this one. I'm not going to lie, because Wolves are so poor and they have nothing to play for. They're sitting comfortably in mid-table. They won't go down, they won't get top half. West Brom have a lot to play for. I think they'll give themselves a little bit of a fighting chance with a win here. I've gone for West Brom 1, Wolves 0, a massive 3 points for West Brom, but as I keep saying, maybe it's too little too late. But yeah, I've gone for 3 points in this Midlands derby for West Brom. And now the final game of this game week taking place at Turf Moor, Burnley versus West Ham. West Ham may be slipping out of top 4 contention. They've lost the last 2 games to Newcastle and Chelsea respectively, and Burnley are like Newcastle in my personal opinion. They're currently sat on 36 points in the Premier League table, and I feel like one more win in the last 5 games will just, assure what we all know, and that is Premier League survival for next season. But yeah, I just think West Ham have a lot to play for in these last few weeks if they're going to, of course, take the Champions League fight to the wire. And yeah, overall, I feel like West Ham will take up 3 points in this one just by the skins of their teeth. Gone for Burnley 1, West Ham 2. I think West Ham have to win this more than Burnley do, even though a win would be massive for Burnley. But nevertheless, I think West Ham will get back to winning ways with a 2-1 win at Turf Moor on Monday night. And so yeah, those are my Premier League gaming predictions for these games this weekend. If you want to go and leave your predictions for these games down in the comment section below, please feel free to do so as always. And also, if you could leave a like on this video, that would be massively appreciated by myself. It means more than you guys could ever imagine if you were to drop a like rating on this video. Also, if you could subscribe to the channel as well, that would be hugely appreciated by myself. We are so close now. We're literally so close. I can almost feel it. 1.6k subscribers. We're nearly there. So if you could hit that subscribe button, that would be massively appreciated by myself. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks very much for watching, and see ya.